The bodybuilders from golden era of bodybuilding never questioned if the basics of squats, deadlifts, rows, and the like were good enough or not. They knew that they were, and as a result, they built incredible physiques that are still revered today. So, what was the training split that they followed? Full body split. The training split that all old bodybuilders followed was the full body split. This meant that they trained every muscle group in their body during each workout. This was typically done 3 times per week, with a day of rest in between each workout. The reason why the full body split was so effective was that it allowed for maximum frequency and intensity. By training each muscle group 3 times per week, they were able to stimulate growth more often than if they were only training each muscle group once per week. Additionally, by working multiple muscle groups during each workout, they were able to keep their heart rate up and burn more calories, which helped them stay lean. In addition to the full body split, old bodybuilders also paid close attention to their training frequency and volume. They knew that they needed to push themselves hard, but not so hard that they risked injury or overtraining. As a result, they would typically perform multiple sets of each exercise, but not so many that they would be unable to recover before their next workout. Moreover, old bodybuilders were not afraid to adjust their training frequency and volume as needed. They knew that their bodies would adapt to their training over time, and so they would periodically increase the weight they were lifting, decrease the rest time between sets, or add an extra set or 2 to their routine. This helped them avoid plateaus and continue making progress towards their goals. Next, they focused on free weights. Another key aspect of the old bodybuilders' training was their focus on free weights. They rarely used machines or other forms of equipment, preferring instead to lift heavy weights with barbells and dumbbells. This was because free weights allowed for a greater range of motion and more natural movement patterns, which led to better overall development. In addition to using free weights, old bodybuilders also focused on heavy lifting. They weren't afraid to push themselves to their limits and lift as much weight as they could handle. This type of training was incredibly effective for building muscle mass and strength. Next, they worked hard on the basics. One of the reasons why old bodybuilders were so successful was because they focused on the basics. They didn't get caught up in fad diets or workouts, but instead, they worked hard on the fundamental exercises that had been proven to work time and time again. This included exercises like squats, deadlifts, bench presses, and rows. These exercises target multiple muscle groups at once and are incredibly effective for building overall strength and muscle mass. Old bodybuilders knew that if they could get strong on these exercises, they would be able to build a great physique. Finally, there were no fads or gimmicks. Old bodybuilders never got caught up in fads or gimmicks. They knew that there were no shortcuts to building a great physique and that it took hard work and dedication. They didn't waste their time with things like fancy supplements or complicated workout routines, but instead, they focused on the basics and worked hard day in and day out. So there you have it, the training split that all old bodybuilders followed and why it was so effective. The full body split, focus on free weights, hard work on the basics, and no fads or gimmicks were the keys to success for the bodybuilders of the golden era. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.